The Dodgers traded for former All-Star reliever Alexis Diaz. We've got full details about the trade, why the Dodgers did it, what's the plan, also some injury news to get into as well. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You guys wanted a parade? We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Tony starts the 50-50 club. Mookie Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another emergency episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain, credential member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Want to jump on here and make sure that we got the full details. Talk to some people that cover the Reds in Cincinnati, got their thoughts on the Dodgers trading for former All-Star closer reliever Alexis Diaz. Some more thoughts on that. By the way, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell. And if you really want to support the channel, hit the like button and join the Discord. So this was the news this afternoon. The Dodgers making a trade. They acquired Alexis Diaz, the brother of Edwin Diaz, from the Cincinnati Reds, and they gave up next to nothing to get him. The Dodgers, they parted ways with minor league right-handed pitcher Mike Villani, and that's not a lot. That's a 13th round pick for a pitcher in Alexis Diaz that has been anywhere from really bad to elite throughout his career. It's been on both sides of the spectrum as far as performance, and then to make the move on the 40-man roster to get Diaz on it, the Dodgers, they sent right-handed reliever Evan Phillips to the 60-day IL. So that was the move. We'll talk about that move first here. As far as Evan Phillips goes, he has not picked up a baseball since going on that IL, had the forearm inflammation. He's missed over 3 weeks with right forearm discomfort, has not thrown yet, has not even come close to throwing, and we don't know what the timeline is going to be for him. We don't know what the next step is going to be for him. Dave Roberts said recently that he was starting to get concerned about Evan Phillips, and we'll see. Will he pick up a ball? Because nothing really can happen until he does. We won't know what the next step is, but at this point we know that, look, the fact he's on the 60-day IL, he's missed the time, so the soonest we could see him activated is July 6th. So we were going to see him at any point in the near future anyway, but now this just makes this a formality at this point. So we're not going to see him until at the very earliest July 6th. And for me, just being a little skeptical about this one, I am concerned too about Evan Phillips, and we need to see him pick up a baseball before we talk about him coming back. So that was the move. And right now, you look at the Dodgers injured list. They have 11 pitchers on the 60-day IL. They have 14 pitchers total on the 60-day IL. And 11 of them are on the 60-day. I mean, send the Dodgers pitchers mail to the IL because they pretty much live there at this point. And the one that's going to return the soonest is Michael Kopech, and he's been having an up and down time down there at the rehab level trying to get back. I mean, lots of walks, giving up home runs. He's just been all over the place. I mean, he did get some good news with Edgardo Henriquez. He's starting a rehab appearance on Thursday in AAA Oklahoma City. Emmett Sheehan, he's on the mend. I think you have to feel the best about Emmett Sheehan as far as the guys that are coming back, and especially kind of the young guys that were really good when he was on, and then when he was injured, it was going to be some time when he comes back. I feel good about Emmett Sheehan. But really, I think that this trade, before we get into Alexis Diaz, and we'll definitely take a deep dive into him in a second, I think this trade really is, it shines a light on the current status of the Dodgers bullpen. And we've talked about a lot on this show that they are overused. They have pitched more innings than any team in Major League Baseball. They're missing key guys. Their guys are injured. Guys are fatigued. Like I said, they've worked harder. Dodgers bullpen pieces, Dodgers relievers have worked harder than a Panda Express employee during a Dodgers winning streak. But in May, it's gotten even worse. During the month of May, the Dodgers bullpen, they're 18th in Major League Baseball with a 4.34 ERA. The FIP is even worse at 23 at 4.34. The strikeout plus minus the strikeout minus walk rate, 16%. That's 20. That is good for sure. You'll take that. But the issue has been the home runs. The home runs have been what has caused this ineffectiveness out of the pen. Right now, the Dodgers in the month of May, 1.56 home runs per 9. That'd be 26 in the sport in that stretch. Vesia gave up one yesterday. Bonda's given up home runs and grand slams, and we've just seen the home run ball really hurt them. Tanner Scott, we talked about him all day today. He's blown 3 leads in his last 5 appearances. He's struggled of late. Even other guys in this pen have had their ups and downs, really outside of Ben Kasparius and Jack Dreyer. Really, this bullpen just has not been the bullpen that we were expecting to see. Now, they did add Lou Trevino, who has provided some depth, has been able to go out there and be pretty effective considering the limited action we've seen from him. He looks like he could be a guy that, honestly, I could even see getting outs in October. Chris Stratton, we haven't seen him yet, but he's on the active roster. And the Dodgers have been playing that DFA game, right? They picked up Trevino and Stratton on the dollar menu, right? Those were the scrap heap guys, the guys that had been DFA'd. But this is a little different because Alexis Diaz is different in the sense that, one, it wasn't a player that had been DFA'd. It was a player that the Cincinnati Reds gave up on. And they did end up tendering him a contract, right? A lot of people thought that he was going to be a non-tender candidate because of the struggles that he's had in recent years. Well, he's on a $4.5 million deal, and the Dodgers, they're going to be absorbing that. So it's not really the 13th round pick they gave up. It's the fact that the Dodgers are now on the hook for $2.98 million of Alexis Diaz's contract when you consider the fact that they're in the last threshold of the CBT. Well, that means that you're basically playing more than double that to have him on your team. So you give up Mike Villani, 13th round pick. He made actually his pro debut last week, had 5 strikeouts and faced 6 batters, had 2 perfect appearances in the Arizona Complex League. Congratulations for that. But really, it's about the money and hoping that Alexis Diaz can find a way to get anywhere close to the pitch that we saw a couple of years ago. Because this year really has been a nightmare for Diaz. He started the year on the IL. He was dealing with a hamstring strain, and the hamstring strain really impacted the mechanics and the delivery from what I was told. He gave up 8 runs, 4 home runs in 6 innings of work, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. So he had more walks than strikeouts, gave up 4 runs, 4 home runs, and 8 runs total, and then he was optioned to AAA in Louisville in early May. And down to AAA level, he did not pitch that much better. In the minors, he posted a 4.61 ERA in 14 games. Not atrocious, not the 12-plus ERA that he has at the big league level this season, but it's the walks to strikeouts. 12 walks to 16 strikeouts in 13 2/3 innings. So the command has left him. Also, the velocity is down a couple of ticks. When he was at the peak of his powers, when he made the All-Star team a few years back, you saw a fastball that was clocking in at just over 95 miles per hour. That hasn't been the same since. He's lost a couple ticks. He's down to around 93 on that heater. So he is going to report to the Dodgers in Arizona. He's going to Arizona, and they're going to look at how things are going with him mechanically, have discussions, probably break down film. And that really is the first thing, is they're going to find out from him, and they're going to, I'm sure, show him a couple things from whatever they've seen, because I guarantee you the Dodgers have studied every pitch, every inning at the big league level, the minor league level, and they're probably going to present him with some information. And it's now on him to take whatever they tell him and put it into use and see how quickly they can implement that. And if he can be someone that they can count on this season, because he's not going to be a guy that they traded for to call up and fill innings, then DFA him right away. No, that's not what this is, because of the fact that they did absorb what's left of his contract, $2.98 million, like I said, and then you factor in the 110% surcharge on that. So he is going to report to the Dodgers at Camelback Ranch. They're going to try to fine-tune some things, and then you're likely going to see him go to AAA, and then they're going to take it from there. They're going to see if he can be more effective, if they can correct some things, and if they do, then, hey, maybe you can start to have the conversation about him in a role where, okay, is he a high-leverage guy? Can he get saves? Is he a mob-up duty guy? Is he a guy that can just fill some innings with guys out? Is he a depth piece? I mean, all this is hinged on if the Dodgers can fix him. And that's what it's all about. Because, look, 2023, he was an all-star. And from 2022 to 2024, he had 75 saves. This season, from what I was told, he's been an absolute disaster. But it was a very small sample size. And I want to point that out, that yes, the ERA is ugly, and hey, the good thing is it can only go down, right? But yes, the ERA is north of 12 in his big league action this season through just 6 innings, though. And in those innings, that's where he gave up all those runs. Those 8 runs all came in those 6 innings. And he's thrown the 6 innings, and he gave 8 of those runs in 2 innings. So think about that. 2 of those innings were the blow-up innings, right? 2 of the 6 were the blow-up innings, and he gave 8 runs in those. 5 versus the Cardinals in 1 inning, and then 3 against the Marlins in an inning and a third. So that's kind of what you have to do sometimes, is you got to kind of look at the stats and say, look, I'm not saying that they just traded for Mariano Rivera or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. They didn't get out of Mariano Rivera, but look at the games this year. It's 6, and then in those 6, so it was his first start too. It was the first appearance, his first appearance of the year. April 30th against the Cardinals, 1 inning, gives up 5 runs on 4 hits, gave up 3 home runs, no strikeouts, and 1 walk. Then next appearance against the Rockies, 1 inning, 1 strikeout, didn't give up a run, didn't give up any hits. And then against the Marlins on the road, inning and a third, 3 runs on a home run, had a walk. And then after that, the walks definitely were still there, but he gave up all of his runs for that 12 ERA in 2 of those 6 appearances. And look, he's still just 28 years old. He's 28 years old, and he has had high flashes. I think the first thing you ask them is, okay, are you mechanically in sync, and are you 100% healthy? Because there's no doubt in my mind that the hamstring injury was probably impacting him on the mound in some capacity, and that's evidenced by the fact that, yeah, the velocity has gone down. When in 2023, when he was All-Star, when he was an All-Star, he was averaging 94.5 on the fastball, and then this season, that's down to 93. So it's down more than a mile per hour, but we're not talking about someone that was throwing 100 and is down to 90, right? And we're talking about 1 to 2 miles per hour on that. So it is intriguing. It is intriguing, the fact that you get a guy that was a rising star in the game. He's 28. Yes, that stock has dropped. Yes, that stock has dropped significantly. But this guy was 5th in the Rookie of the Year voting in 2022. Made the All-Star team in 2023. The big issue, at one point he was throwing 96. That's down 3 ticks. And then it's the walk rate. The walk rate, it has just been bad. I mean, 15.6% walk rate and a 9.8% strikeout rate. Also hit 2 batters. But I think there's more that meets the eye there when you really look under the hood. And the AAA numbers are somewhat better. So, look, I'm excited to see what the Dodgers can do with this. And it's just going to be a matter of time. Can you try to avoid contact too? I mean, that's kind of the thing that's been plaguing him as well, is if you look at the swing strike rates, the contact rates, he's just not missing a lot of barrels in the zone. So we'll see. And look, this is a Reds team that's just completely given up on him. And Reds fans, I can tell you, just talking to some reporters that cover the Reds fans are kind of upset that they essentially gave him away for a bucket of baseballs, a better parking space, and a half-eaten bag of Doritos. I mean, they gave him away for next to nothing. He's a project. It's a low-risk, high-reward. I think for some organizations, $2.98 million is a lot for a project. But for the Dodgers, hey, it's one that they're willing to go after. Now, is this the Danny Duffy, the Cole Hamels, guys like that? It remains to be seen. I mean, Alex Reyes from a couple years ago, this is in that bucket. It's in that bucket of pitchers, and it's going to be interesting to see when we do finally get a look at him, but you definitely going to have to wait. It's not going to happen right away. It's going to take a second. It's going to take a minute. He's not overpowering anymore. He's going to have to either reinvent himself or they're going to have to get him back to where he was, or at least close to that. But still, a trade's a trade. It's always interesting. I would say if you're asking me if this is something, nothing, or everything, I would say it's something. I mean, I definitely wouldn't say it's everything, but I would say it's something in the sense that this guy still has shown a lot of upside. He's still young. The Dodgers are a great organization when it comes to developing pitchers, and they wouldn't have traded for him too if they didn't identify something in his mechanics, in communication with people that have scouted him, that they thought that they could improve upon. There's nobody that's random in this organization, and Alexis Diaz is the most recent example. And I think, too, it definitely makes me even that much more concerned about the current state of the relievers that are on the IL. Not even just Evan Phillips, but Michael Kopech hasn't looked good in his rehab. And Blake Trinan is throwing, but he's someone that they're going to just try to keep healthy enough to be able to pitch in October, right? So I'm very curious to see if this is the first kind of significant bullpen move, because I think that's going to be the focus for this team. The bullpen literally won the Dodgers the World Series last year. I mean, literally, when you look at the impact of this bullpen, if they don't go out there in Game 4 of the NLDS and have the game they did against the Padres, then I don't think they win the World Series. So the bullpen is extremely important. The postseason has increasingly become a bullpen game. And hey, Alexis Diaz versus Edwin Diaz in the NLCS. Who's ready for that matchup? But all right, guys, a couple more here. Just a super quick. I just want to give you some more updates about the roster moves, the trade details, talking to people that cover the minor league level at the highest level. They're not going to miss. They're not giving away Pedro Martinez. Okay, I just want to point that out right there. They're not giving away Pedro Martinez, and you just got to find a way to get this guy somewhat in a better position to kind of get that to limit hard contact too. I mean, that's kind of the thing too. I mean, he had been one of the best in expected batting average, in the 5th percentile last couple of seasons. The barrel percentages really low, 6.7, 6.5, 7.5. This is a guy that has shown the ability to hit on the advanced stuff as well as kind of the more standard outing stuff as well. And that's kind of been the issue for him. So he's a project, man. He's a project, and let's put him in the lab and see what we can cook up. Okay, I'll take some comments here. We've got, I love this trade from Mr. Classic. Bruce Davis, Mike M. I was watching this the other day. Also hit 2 batters. Walk rate says it all. The walk rate's crazy. I mean, so many walks, my dog's getting jealous. But you fix the walks. You limit the hard contact. You probably get a little more conviction on the velo. Maybe he could be something. It's not a guarantee, but it was worth the shot. D-Mac gets excited about everything. Not necessarily. I mean, this to me is the most exciting thing about this, if we're being honest, is not necessarily Alexis Diaz specifically and what he has the potential to be. It's the fact that the Dodgers have already said, you know what? I know Andrew Friedman said in the offseason that he doesn't want to make a trade at the deadline. And I've told you that, right? Andrew Friedman does not like to buy at the deadline because that's the most expensive time to buy. That's when the prospect capital cost is at its highest. I always say Andrew Friedman likes to buy the Halloween candy the day after Halloween so he can get a good discount, get some good value. But I think this is an indication that they are accepting the fact that they need reinforcements. And they were going to do this anyway because of the injuries, but I also think that this is a long-term play. And I expected, and I've told you on the show, that you were going to see some pickups along this stretch with the injuries where you're playing the DFA game and the churning out game. I mean, JP Fireeisen, he already elected to leave the organization, right? So, I mean, they were already going to play that game in the first place, but this tells you that in the Dodgers' mind, they are willing and looking long-term as far as putting their bullpen together in the postseason. So I think that we could see some trades for a significant bullpen piece come the trade deadline. And I think that's certainly something that's going to be in the cards because there's just way too many questions, way too many questions about this Dodgers bullpen from an injury front right now. We got to only the Dodgers would trade Pedro, David Raw. D-Mac, why would the Dodgers put Teo in left field and Paz in right? Well, we talked about that, Dodgers, Dave. I mean, that was one of my big takeaways for the week. And I think Teo likes it there. I think that part of his contract situation is they made it clear he was going to be there. So I think there's a little bit of that as well. But I think that Paz is the best right fielder on the team, has the best arm. He's a Gold Glove caliber player. Justin Lombard Scott's going to be shoving hitters in the World Series and clinching the title for us. So people are going to forget about his blown saves in May. Hey, if you watch the show today, I spent the first 30 minutes of it telling you why I thought that Tanner Scott is going to be just fine. 9 whiffs yesterday and 26 pitches. But, all right, guys, so that was just a super quick one. I already was live today, and I just want to give you all the latest I've heard about Alexis Diaz. I'll do a couple more comments, though. Kenley on line 2 from Mike M. Dodgers gave up right-handed pitcher Mike Villani from the Arizona Complex League. Yeah, as we discussed, take away Andrew Friedman's Dodgers checkbook. Alex Rancheria, come on. Yeah, absolutely. Roy Estrada, Kershaw's outing was not very good. Command issues and Guardians hitting the ball hard. Just lucky Muncy was on the bench. Yeah, I mean, there was some hard contact early. And I think for Kersh, it's just about identifying adjustments he can make during starts and then executing them on the fly. And he talked about that after the game. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, first inning alone, I mean, if it wasn't for Andy Pages and some of the double plays and the last one where – he was able to get some big strikeouts, but look, yeah, he's a work in progress, man. I like I said, I'm not big on the whole we need Clayton Kershaw to be a Cy Young guy. I want 26 more strikeouts, and honestly, I'm not even thinking about Kershaw for the postseason right now. I'm really not. That's not what's on my mind. It's truly not. I know some people, they might romanticize about Kersh and they want to see him doing that. If he was on the roster and got the final 3 outs and the final out really of the World Series because the Dodgers are up big, I think that'd be cool for sure, but I think that'd be actually a tough spot to put him in to expect him to do that. Kersh has more yesterdays than tomorrows in his career. There's no doubt about that. And, yeah, David Robb points out, I mean, they could have won that game. At the end of the day, for as hard as he was getting hit, for as hard as he was getting hit with the contact, Kersh still pitched 5 innings of 1-run ball. Okay, and you take 5 innings of 1-run ball. That's just the truth. Missing Buehler right now, Paul Pena. I don't know. He's not been that great. I'm not missing Buehler too much because I don't view Buehler as a elite starting pitcher. And this team to get through October, and I love Buehler in October, and he was great, but I think the situation they were in, it was better to kind of part ways for that. But all right, guys, so that's going to be a quick one. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. I want all your takes too. Is the Dodgers trade for Alexis Diaz something, nothing, or everything? Let me know down below in the comments section. BC says Kershaw Game 3 starter. What's up, BC? Always rocking with us. I appreciate you, my man. Hit the like button on your way out for your Los Angeles Dodgers. It's going to be a big weekend. Dodgers, Yankees. I'll be at the stadium for Friday and Sunday's game covering it. So if you guys are there, come find me for sure. Paul Gutierrez, Scott's use is used to all. Oh, Scott's not used to all the pressure. Okay, awesome. Something for sure from pound for pound. Dodgers D Showtime Awesome. BC thinks it's something too. So seems like you guys are buying into it. But all right, guys, that is going to do it, guys. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. We'll be back tomorrow with Dodgers Dugout Live in the morning before I head to Dodger Stadium. And we're going to be live for a post-game show live from the stadium. Big weekend. Postseason vibes. Making trades. Please, we need an active trade deadline, don't we? Come on. It's more fun when we do. But that's going to do it, guys. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, join the Discord. You guys are the best fans of the game. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing, brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.